Hey people, so I got a question a while back that I've kind of realized is not a one video question. It's actually three separate videos, but I will deal with part one of what I've realized is this question right now, and that is about headspace. Getting into the headspace of being a dominant or being a submissive or a master or a slave or a top or a bottom is really not easy. It's something that you have to train your brain into figuring out what to do and what not to do. Biggest thing you can do is learn to just be in the moment. It's called mindfulness, and there's a lot. You can read up 100 different techniques on how to do it. You can read all of this stuff that says this is how to do it, this is how not to do it, blah blah blah. I wish I could give you a quick and dirty answer on how to do it. There's not. Everybody is going to do it differently. Everybody's going to experience it differently. For me, I've gotten to a point in my life where I can go from 1 to 100. I can just slip right into it and exist in it and do it, and then it takes me a bit to come out of it. Most people do the exact opposite, where it takes a while to get into it, to get into that space. And then due to whatever circumstances, they get snapped out of it. Some people have time in between on both. It's very subjective. It really depends on you, on who you are and what you are. One thing I can suggest is doing it in a way that's ritualistic, creating a ritual. Whether that ritual is something simple, something complex, that's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you and what it is that's going to take you to get into it. You could be something as simple as getting dressed in whatever kinky attire you are using. It could be something as simple as this necklace right here. Okay. For me, simply putting this necklace on, I know what I am. I wear this necklace anytime I go to a kink event. Anytime I'm doing anything that is in the lifestyle. And I use it as a signifier to myself of when this is on and around my neck, for whatever time I have it on, that's the only thing that's important in my life. Okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable wearing it right now because I'm not doing that, so I'm going to take it off. I'm just simply talking to you as it gets caught up in my hair. It's the fun of having a lot of hair. But I always have it sitting here next to me, so I can always see it. But the thing is that it's a signifier to me. It's a way that I can put myself immediately into my headspace, knowing that that's what I'm going to be doing. You could have it as simple as laying out your cuffs. Could be as simple as, your partner, kneeling in front of you, and knowing that that's a signifier for you to get into your headspace to be able to do what you need to do. The biggest thing to figure out how to do is how to clear your head. How to walk away from the problems of life. Okay? how to just walk away from your job and your home and your car and your kids and your bills and all of the real world shit that exists. How to be able to block that out, to just live in the moment. That is the big trick. That is the thing that once you are able to do that, you're able to free your brain up to be able to get into whatever space you're trying to get into. Think about it this way. If you're having sex and you're in the middle of having sex and you start thinking about your kids or your family or your job or your home or your car or this or that, what happens to the sex? It usually goes bad and becomes not very fun. Same basic concept. You have to be able to clear your head, to be able to put that stuff aside and say, it's over here. I know it's over here, but you know what? I don't need to deal with that at the moment. I need to exist in this space. And in that frees up space in your head to be able to do what you actually want to do. Whether it's for a couple minutes or a couple hours. You have to be able to take all of that, set it off to the side, and be able to basically forget it exists for that time that you are doing this. If you cannot clear your head of this stuff, you're never going to get into your headspace properly. Never. It's just not going to happen. You're going to sit there forever just wondering, why am I not getting into my headspace? That's another thing. Overthinking. You want to be able to clear your mind and just be able to exist in the moment and just be able to think, this is who I am, this is what I am, this is what I am doing. Because if you don't, if you're worried about, is everything perfect? Is this, is this, that? Is this, is this, that? How the hell can you exist in that moment? Because if you do that, you start this endless process of questioning and questioning and questioning, and it builds up and anxiety and all of this other stuff starts building and building and building, and it'll immediately pull you out of that headspace, because now, instead of worrying about this, you have a whole other group of things you're worried about. Just stop and exist. That is the trick. Learning to just exist in the moment. And then being able to turn on and turn the volume up on whatever it is you're trying to be. You're trying to be submissive? Let yourself go. Allow yourself to exist in that space. You're trying to be dominant? Let yourself go. Exist in that space. Forget what society says. Forget what your family says. Forget what your friends would say. Forget what anybody else would say. They're not there at that moment in your head. It's only you. Forget even what your partner is thinking about, because if you cannot get into your headspace, and you cannot worry, if you're so worried about what's happening in their headspace, you are not going to be able to get what happens in between here focused on what the task is at hand. And that's existing in the moment. So, like I said, I could spend hours going over the nuances of what headspace can, getting into headspace could be. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to tell you some simple truths about what it is we do. So the next one is going to be about now that you figured out how to get into your headspace, how do you keep in that headspace? That's a whole other ball of wax. So that's going to be kind of it for now. Be well and safe.